Now it can be told. History in the making as the mysterious Shangri-La. Actually, the United States Navy aircraft carrier Hornet steams westward across the Pacific. The protecting force of cruisers and destroyers, with the hard-hitting Admiral Halsey in command, slams into a gale, determined to reach a position 400 miles from Tokyo, unless intercepted by the enemy. Packed on the afterdeck of the Hornet are 16 B-25 Mitchell bombers. Never before have these huge planes been launched from a carrier. High explosive and demolition bombs are made ready for the destruction of military objectives in Japan. Colonel, now Major General Doolittle, with Captain Mark Mitcher, commander of the aircraft carrier Hornet, who was once decorated by Japan, now gives his medal to be returned to the Japs on the tail of a bomb. Not until they are miles at sea do these men know definitely the mission for which they have volunteered.
So this project has been on my mind for a while. I've wanted to build the USS Hornet CV-8 specifically as she appeared on April 18th, 1942, the morning she launched the Doolittle Raid. There are a lot of ways you can build the Hornet. Midway configuration, late war refits, heavy weathering. But that April 1942 moment is different. It's very unique, and it only looked that way once. So that's what we're going to recreate. This is the 1/200 scale kit from I Love Kit. And first of all, this thing is huge. When it's done, it'll be just over 4 feet long. At this scale, details really start to matter because you can actually see them without having to squint. The hull comes in one massive piece. The molding looks clean and there's no flash. The portholes are recessed. The basic shape looks right. There is a seam line to clean up along the bottom running the length of the hull and around the shafts. Some of the portholes are oval in shape on the angled surfaces because of the injection molding technique, so I'll correct these as well. But as a starting point, it's solid. The flight deck comes in 2 large pieces, molded in clear plastic with engraved plank detail across its entire length. The tie-down strips are represented and the deck edges are cleanly formed. Out of the box, this looks good. When we go to paint and weather this for the April 1942 look, the tone and markings are going to be very important. This isn't the late war heavy worn deck. It needs to look used but not abused. And there were specific markings for the B-25s. The island detail is respectable, molded in mostly one piece. The hangar deck that's included looks to be well molded, and the steel plating on the floor looks really good. So those are the main parts I really wanted to show you. There's a whole lot more plastic to look at, but I don't want to bore you with each and every sprue. The quality of the rest of the plastic is represented well from the parts that we just looked at. So if you're planning on building this out of the box, I think it would build up to a really good looking model. There's a lot of high quality detail to work with here. But I'm not building this one out of the box. It wouldn't be an aviation scale models build without some aftermarket improvements. I'll be using the KA Models MK1 Deluxe Upgrade set to go along with it. This kit includes 27 frets of photo etch and numerous turned brass and resin parts. This adds photo etched railings, replacement catwalks, radar arrays, brass gun barrels, aircraft detail, mast upgrades, and much more. Basically, refining most of what you see above the hangar deck. At 1/200 scale, thickness really stands out. Plastic railings look like plastic railings, but brass railings look like steel. It definitely doesn't make this build any easier, it makes it more involved, but for the moment we're trying to capture, I think the extra time and effort is well worth it. Now, the reason April 1942 matters so much in this configuration, Hornet was still early in the war. In fact, this was the first mission after being recently commissioned. She carried a freshly painted Measure 12 modified camouflage. Her radar fit was simpler than it would be later in the war. Her anti-aircraft battery hadn't been expanded yet. And of course, she was carrying 16 North American B-25 Mitchell bombers on her flight deck. Capturing that historical moment in U.S. naval and Army history by putting Army bombers on a Navy carrier changes the whole feel of the model. So over the next several episodes, we'll take this step by step. We'll start with the hull cleanup and structural work, then camouflage and paint, island detailing and radar configuration, anti-aircraft guns, the B-25s themselves, and finally deck spotting and rigging. Every decision anchored to April 1942. In the next episode, we'll begin with the hull, making sure everything is straight and solid before we go any further. If you're interested in large-scale model ships, or World War II naval history, or just want to see what goes into a project like this, you're in the right place. Let's get started.